Okay, next section, we are factoring monic trinomials. So a monic trinomial is going to be a trinomial in this form here, where you have x squared plus bx plus c. So it's monic because mono means 1, which means there's a 1 in front of the x squared. So there's nothing in front of the x squared, it's just a 1. Okay, and then this term is technically a, so this is where a equals 1. So it's just x squared in the front. So to factor a monic trinomial, we do reverse foiling, so backwards foiling. So before we do that, let's practice foiling. So we have x plus 4 times x plus 7. So if we FOIL this, we have first terms, so x times x, both the first terms here, x squared. Our outside terms, x and 7, so 7x. Our inside terms, 4 times x, 4x. And then our last terms, 4 times 7 gives us 28. Then I would combine my like terms here and get 11x. So if I FOIL this, I get x squared plus 11x plus 28. Now our goal is going to be for this module to go from this, x squared plus 11x plus 28, to this, x plus 4x plus 7. Okay, so read this sentence here. Notice that the middle term is 11. Okay, the coefficient of the middle term is 11, which is the sum of 4 and 7. 4 plus 7 is 11. And then notice that this last term, 28, is the product, 4 times 7. So what we do when we factor is we look for our magic numbers that multiply to the last term but also add to the middle term. So in order to be good at factoring, you need to know your times tables. You can use a calculator, but it's much easier to recognize if you do your times tables. So let's take a look at our example. We'll go through this. So when I'm factoring, what I want to do, if I know it's a monic trinomial, I'm going to set up my factors like this. So 2 sets of parentheses. You're going to split the first term, b and b, just like the beginning of foiling. And then you're going to go look at your last term, 7. And you're going to say, okay, what multiplies to 7? Well, in this case, there's only one thing that multiplies to 7, which is 1 times 7. And then you say, okay, does that add to 8? Yeah, if I do positive 1 plus 7, I get positive 8. So I do b plus 1, b plus 7. That's it. Okay, so you find the numbers that multiply to 7 and add to 8, 1 and 7. And then we can check by foiling this out. We foiled it out and we get it back to our original problem, then we did it correctly. So b times b is b squared. B times 7, 7b. 1 times b, 1b. 1 times 7, 7. 2 middle terms combined to give us 8b. So we have b squared plus 8b plus 7. We're good to go. Okay, so let's look at this next example. You have n squared minus 11n plus 10. So notice here that the last term is positive and the middle term is negative. So the signs for both factors are going to be negative. And I know that because, okay, multiplies to a positive is either positive positive or negative negative. A positive plus a positive is a positive. A negative plus a negative is a negative. So if the middle term's negative, then they're two negatives. Okay, so we set up our factors. We have n and n in parentheses. Okay, then we do our factors of 10. So you have 1 times 10, 2 times 5. And that's it. They're both negative. We do know that. Which of these combines to negative 11? 1 and 10. So we say this is n minus 1, n minus 10. And then we check. So n times n is n squared. N times negative 10, negative 10n. Negative 1 times n, negative 1n. Negative 1 times negative 10, positive 10. Middle terms combine to negative 11. We're good to go. Okay, now this next one, we have y squared plus 4y minus 12. Last term's negative. Only things that multiply to a negative, positive, negative. Okay, so now when we're looking at the factors, we want a difference, okay, for the middle term. So here, I'm going to set up my factors, y plus and y minus, and then we're going to do our factor tree for 12. So we have 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Do any of these have a difference of 4? 2 and 6. And then I have to ask myself, am I going to do 2 minus 6 or 6 minus 2? We want a positive 4, so we would do positive 6 minus 2. So you get y plus 6, y minus 2. And then we check. So y times y would give us y squared. Y times negative 2, negative 2y. 6 times y, 6y. 6 times negative 2, negative 12. Middle terms combine to give us positive 4y. And we are good to go. Okay, so I think we have 2 more, and then I'll give you some practice. So you have x squared plus x minus 90. So this one has a negative, so it's positive, negative. We have factors of 90 that will have a difference of 1. This is a 1 in front of the x here. That's what we're looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and start thinking about what multiplies to 90. I've got 1 and 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30. I think 4 does not go in. 5 goes in 18 times. And you guys can also do this. 90 divided by 5, 90 divided by 6, 6 and 15. 7, I don't think 7 works. No, no, 9 and 10. The next number is 10, which is on this side of the list. So once you get to that side of the list, then you're done with all the factors. This is everything that multiplies to 90. Any of these have a difference of 1? 9 and 10. And we want a positive 1, so am I going to do 10 minus 9 or 9 minus 10? 10 minus 9, so x plus 10, x minus 9. And then let's check that. So x times x, x squared. X times negative 9, negative 9x. Positive 10x, negative 90. Middle terms, give me a 1x. We're good to go. All right, and then example 5. So example 5 is just slightly different because at the back end here, you've got an x squared. So you're just splitting that, just like you do with the first term. So when I set up my factors, I go z and z, and then I just put the x here as well. And then I worry about the numbers. So when I look at my numbers, I say, okay, what multiplies to 10 adds to 11? Yeah, 1, 10, both positive. So there we go. And we don't need to write that 1 in front of the x. So z plus x, z plus 10x. And then we will check it. So z times z is z squared. Z times 10x will go 10x z. X times z, 1x z. And then x times 10x, 10x squared. This combines to give us 11xz. So we are good to go. Okay, let me give you some practice problems. Okay, so here's some practice problems. Okay, you guys ready? All right, what did we get for number 1? -4, -5. So we do a parentheses, b and b. And we say multiplies to 20, adds to -9, -4, -5. -4 times -5, positive 20, -4 minus 5, -9. Good. All right, number 2 is a tricky one because there's actually 2 things here that could work. Did anybody get this one? -1, positive 6. Very good. So this is x minus 1, x plus 6. You guys will see this one often because this is one of the ones where there's 2 things that could work because 2 and 3 also combine to 5. Just in a different way. But because this is negative, then it's the 5 and 1. But if it were the other way around and this was a positive 6, this was a -5, it would be x minus 2, x minus 3. So you got to be careful with those, with the 6 at the end. If you have the 6 at the end, there's the 5 and 1 and the 2 and 3, which have the, 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, which have the combination to 5. Yes? It does not matter which one you put first, as long as the plus sign is with the correct number and the minus sign is with the correct number. So if you did x plus 6, x minus 1, that's fine. But you couldn't do x minus 6, x plus 1. So, good question. All right, what about this one? I put a little star here that you can take a GCF out first. Yeah, so you can take a 3 out first. And then that's going to give us an a squared minus 9a. And that was 36, right? Minus 36. Okay, then you have your 3, your GCF. And then we'll split this. We'll continue factoring inside here. And then we said that these were what multiplied to 36? Positive 3, negative 12. So plus 3 minus 12. 12 times 3, 36. 3 minus 12, negative 9. We're good to go there. Okay, so this is the whole answer for this one. Good job.